Today we're going to make a fibula. It's from ancient Latin. It means to fasten. Current language would call it a brooch, but it's a very practical thing to know, and it takes just a matter of a few minutes to make this. So we're going to use our bench block, 1.2 millimeter wire. Yep, round wire. So a fairly decent length, probably 150 mil to start with, and we'll cut it to size. So file one end flat. Forge it on your bench block, so just forge the very end of it. So half the thickness, hammer it to half the thickness of the original wire. Take your sanding stick and just tidy up this end because it'll be slightly rough. We're going to take our flat, round forming pliers, grab the very end of it and roll it halfway on your finger. So we want a hook on the end. Now most of the rest of the forming is going to be done with our flat round pliers. So holding the pliers so that this is facing across this way, so you can see it this way. We're going to just bend a 90-degree bend in the end. So the hook will run down the length of the wire. Now, straight up, and because I'm just doing a little decorative thing here, I want this the same height as that. Pull that over, and we're going to cut this right here and file a point on it. You can just use your side cutters. And you can see, once I have the point on this, I'm going to have a safety pin. So what a fancy name, a brooch, a practical piece of jewelry is a safety pin. So we'll open this back up a little bit to file our bullet shape on the end. We don't want a very, very sharp point because that'll pierce the threads. What we want to do is have a slightly rounded point so it moves the threads aside. Number 2 cut flat hand file, and just file a nice bullet shape on the end. Take your sanding stick to get the file marks off. And polish that in. And I just use my handpiece with a small buff. going to do is open this slightly and forge where the bends are, and that way it will work hard in the middle and it'll give us some tension, spring tension, so that it will hold itself open. You don't have to kill it, just gently hammer it, and now you can see that it holds itself open so that when you clip it, it will hold itself closed. A nice little practical piece. You can hang things off here for decoration if you want. You can make it any size you want. What you can do is make it really decorative. You can make spirals and zigzags and all that type thing. And it doesn't really matter until you get to here, and then you just make a straight pin to come back over to your hook. I'll do a little demo. Forge the end. Sand it. Make your hook. Bend you 90 degrees. Now, at this point, you can make a loop or a zigzag. Make another loop. Bend your end over, cut it, file your point on the end. So you can see that this is something that can be quite fun to play with. So it only takes minutes to create something that is fun and decorative and useful. Cheers. One thing you need to pay attention to is on a brooch, the hook needs to be on the left. They're traditionally made so that you put them in with your right hand, and the hook on the left will make that work. You can make one for left-handed people that you put in with your left hand and hook, but the majority of the brooches that you make, the hook will be on the left.